Hello, Internet people. Um, my name is Eric, and I'm here to review some things. Initially, I was going to just do book reviews, but I decided to expand on that and review anything that catches my interest: tabletop games, video games, movies, TV, whatever I feel like doing. But today I'm going to review a series of books. It is a 9-book series called Star Wars Fate of the Jedi. And those books in order are Outcast by Aaron Alston, Omen by Christy Golden, Abyss by Troy Denning, Backlash by Aaron Alston, Allies by Christy Golden, Vortex, Troy Denning, Conviction by Aaron Alston, Ascension by Christy Golden, and finally Apocalypse by Troy Denning. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of Star Wars books out there. Typically, I've stuck with the books that did not feature the main characters. If you have a story with Luke, Leia, Han, you can be pretty sure that they're not going to die. And, excuse me, I like that uncertainty about what's going to happen with the characters. So some of the other Star Wars books and series that don't feature the main characters, pretty much anybody can die. They can kill off whoever they want. But the covers for these books, as you saw, are pretty striking. They caught my eye. I decided to give it a chance. This series takes place about 40 years after Star Wars A New Hope. I'm going to give you a little history about what went on in that time. I don't have any fancy editing or graphics, so I just made some crappy little signs here, and I'm going to hold those up. Hold one up when I start the spoilers, hold one up when I end the spoilers. So if you don't want to know what's happened in the past 40 years, Star Wars years, um, don't listen in between the signs. So here we go. Spoilers. Let's see. Han Solo, Princess Leia got married. They had 3 children, twins, Jason and Jaina, and a younger son named Anakin. Luke Skywalker married a woman named Mara Jade. They had a son named Ben. Chewbacca died. Jason Solo turned to the dark side, became a Sith, tried to take over the galaxy. He was killed. His brother Anakin died. Luke Skywalker's wife Mara died. And those are the highlights. Of course, a lot of stuff happened in the 40 years between Star Wars A New Hope and this Fate of the Jedi series. But I think those are the high points. And so at this point, we can end the spoilers. All right, so Fate of the Jedi. You have the Galactic Alliance, as well as remnants of the Empire. But the Galactic Alliance is run by a woman named Natasi Dala. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm sure I'm going to mangle some of these names. Feel free to correct me whenever I'm wrong. But Natasi Dala does not like the Jedi. She feels that they're a vigilante group, and she wants to bring them to heel, keep them under her thumb. The first thing she does is banish Luke Skywalker from the capital planet of Coruscant. So Luke and his son Ben take off and decide that they're going to follow the trail of Jason Solo after what happened, the thing I mentioned during the spoilers, and they're going to follow his path, maybe see where things went wrong. At the same time, Jedi are going crazy for some unknown reason. Of course, there's lots of political intrigue. Um, there's some courtroom drama, all sorts of stuff. I think it's a very exciting story. Lots of spaceship battles, blaster battles, lightsaber battles, plenty of action. What I did with this, since it's 9 books long and I didn't want to burn out on Star Wars, between each book I'd read 2 or 3 or 4 other things just to sort of cleanse my palate, and then I'd go back to the Star Wars book and jump back into the story. Now, that being said, after finishing the 8th book, I went straight into the 9th book because the 8th book was crazy. Everything that went down, and at the end, oh my, I had to go on. I had to find out what was going to happen. And book number 9, well, it's called Apocalypse. I think that pretty much says it all. As much as I love the series, it's not perfect. It did feel a bit repetitive at times. The first few books, when Luke Skywalker and his son Ben are following the path of Jacen Solo. In the first book, they go to a planet that Jacen visited, learn a Jedi trick that Jacen learned, some stuff happens, they leave the planet. Second book, they go to another planet where Jacen Solo was, learn a new Jedi trick, some stuff goes down, they leave the planet. This goes on for a few books, felt a little repetitive. Eventually, they get to a place where they encounter this incredibly powerful dark force being named Abeloth. Again, if I'm mispronouncing this, please feel free to tell me. Once they encounter Abeloth, you get a different repetitiveness. They chase Abeloth to a planet, lots of stuff happens, Abeloth escapes. The next book, chase her to another planet, stuff happens, Abeloth escapes. I keep saying stuff happens because I'm trying to avoid any spoilers. I hate to give anything too important away. This is something I can tell you. The second book introduces, at least as far as this series is concerned, introduces the lost tribe of the Sith. And these are Sith that have been stuck on a planet for about 5,000 years, if I'm not mistaken. They have no idea what's going on in the galaxy. But they find a way off the planet and decide it's time for them to take over. Because, of course, the rightful place of the Sith is in control of everything. So now you got Sith mixed in, all sorts of craziness. So despite the repetitiveness of some of this, I think it's a great series. I recommend you pick it up. Again, first book, Outcast, Aaron Alston. Love the covers. You should read these. Frankly, you should just read in general. And that's what I have to say about Star Wars Fate of the Jedi. Hopefully I'll be back soon reviewing something else. As I said, I'm going to review all sorts of things. I'm going to review old books, new books, old games, new games, whatever I feel like sharing. All right, I don't have any fancy catchphrase for signing off. If anyone has any suggestions, put them in the comments. Horrible at coming up with titles. If someone has a suggestion for title for this little review series, put them in the comments. Like, subscribe. Hopefully I'll have more than just this one video. And that's it. Keep reading, and I'll see you next time.